Hello, I wanted to do a video to mark the end of my harmonica videos. I learned the harmonica, I started learning the harmonica in January of 2016, and I've been uploading videos in my video diary. The last one was May of this year, and that was video diary 27. So just over 3 years I've been uploading harmonica videos. I feel at this stage that I've gone as far as I'm going to go with the harmonica. The harmonica was a brand new experience for me 3 years ago. I loved everything about the harmonica. This particular one, the Special 20, is a fantastic looking harmonica for me, because I have tried lots of different types of harmonicas. This is without doubt the best harmonica that there is. I've opened the backs up on this particular one because ordinarily Special 20s don't have the backs open. I've opened the back, just used pliers, that's all, to crimp it, just because it makes a little bit more louder. But the Special 20 it's a fantastic harmonica, and this is what I've been mainly playing for 3 years. I have tried the Seidels and Suzuki's, but I like this one. However, I'm finished now with my harmonica journey. There'll be no more harmonica videos. The reason why I think that I've got to the end of my journey is the last video that I uploaded was The House of the Rising Sun. After that video, after I watched it back, because I always watched my own videos back, and the reason why I started a video diary was to watch my progression from the outside in. And I think it's a great tool. Video diaries are a great tool for you yourself if you're learning an instrument, to see how you are progressing. Because while you're in the middle of playing, whatever it might be, whether it's a guitar or a harmonica or violin, you understand it from a different perspective because you're playing it. But when you're looking in from the outside as a viewer, then you can see lots of other things. You know, the way that you're holding it, the way that you are bonding with your instrument. That makes a big difference. And I started to tweak the way that I was holding the harmonica because of me looking in on myself, because I watched my videos back. And I thought I looked awkward. My first few videos, when I watched them back, I thought I looked awkward. Initially, I thought I looked awkward because I'm a beginner, and I would pay more attention to trying to get the individual notes, because an harmonica is not an easy instrument. I personally know 6 other people that have tried to learn the harmonica, attempted and failed at the first 6-week hurdle. And that 6-week hurdle, that exists in all instruments. It's there. It's not instrument specific, it's there. And one of my friends said that, as far as he was concerned, the harmonica was deceptively difficult. But all instruments are difficult anyway. But watching myself back, it looked awkward, and I left it because I was addressing other issues that I had at the time learning. And then I started to play around with how I was holding the instrument. Let me give you a demonstration. When I first watched videos on the harmonica, and I was watching how to hold it, if you're right-handed, you hold it in your left hand. And initially, it was you make that shape with your thumb right underneath your hand, if you like. All your fingers are lined up, and it just goes in there like a sandwich, that kind of thing. And that's initially how I held it. That didn't feel right. And then it changed to, I just brought that end out a little bit and rested it on the pad bit. It's not a pad, but it became a pad because I actually had hardened skin there after a while, because the harmonica was pushing against it and I was playing that often, that I actually had a callous, hard, dead skin around this bit here. And that's how I changed it to that. And these fingers became free. And that was all right for a while, and then that started to not work. And as I'm watching myself back on these videos, I'm thinking, obviously the sound's getting there and I'm learning other bits and pieces, but as I'm watching back, I was still thinking that doesn't look right. It looks awkward and it didn't feel right. And then in the end, one day as I was practicing, I started off like that. And by the time I'd finished my practice session, which I don't know how long, let's just say an hour. I used to practice around an hour and a half-ish, but let's just say around an hour. At some point, I'd changed and I started to hold it like that. And that's, from me holding it like that, that's how then I held it from there. Two hands, cupping around it, and it resting on both hands. I'd not seen anybody else doing that, but to me I felt it was comfortable. And then the more I researched it, the more that I found that there were other players that held it like that, although the people that I was watching on YouTube didn't hold it like that. But there were other players that did that. And then when I started to watch those videos back of my new hand placement, it no longer looked awkward. It looked comfortable. It looked like I'd eventually learnt to, sounds a bit corny, become one, if you like, with the harmonica. And the videos looked better. My sound was getting better. The last video that I uploaded in May, I liked that sound. That was the end product after 3 years of learning. The more that I play the harmonica, the better that my tonality becomes, because it's about that tonality that makes a difference. With the harmonica, because the sound hole is your throat and your mouth, your tongue, all of those three elements make up the tone of the harmonica. Of course, your hands make a little bit of difference, but at that point the sound's already been released. It takes a long time, it takes years. In fact, one particular YouTube harmonica teacher, a fellow called Lee Sankey, fantastic with the harmonica, he says it takes around 5 years to finally perfect your sound. When I watched my last video back, The House of the Rising Sun, who I played with Claire on the guitar. Claire's my niece, by the way, and she was playing the guitar on that video with me. When I watched that back, I realised that I'd finally got to where I wanted to be. I was beginning to feel that in the last few videos, that I was really getting comfortable with playing the harmonica. That video, when I watched that back, although I filmed it in my flat, this is my living room, the acoustics are not very good in here, and you can actually hear that in some of the notes, but I thought, I'm there. The only difference now for me to continue playing this is that my tonality would get better. But as far as learning the harmonica goes, I've learnt it. I've got to a place where I'm very comfortable and I can do things with the harmonica that everybody else can now that plays the harmonica. Of course, everybody's got their own little nuances and can do special little tricks and special little sounds and things like that that other people can't, but that's their unique way but as far as learning the harmonica and playing the harmonica goes, for me that's the box ticked. In another couple of years, I'd have finally nailed that tonality. Watching that video back, I could hear that there were notes where I'd got the tone spot on, and I could also hear notes that the tonality was out, the tone wasn't right. So obviously, you know, within another couple of years, I would have nailed it completely throughout the range. What I did find was the fifth hole on the key of C, the E, which is the fifth blow note, I found that E very, very difficult to tame. That was like a beast of a note to tame. I could not get that right. And on a lot of the videos that I played in the key of C, or at least on the harmonica, the C harmonica, that note never sounded right. For whatever reason, I couldn't get that. That was the Achilles heel for me on the key of C. The other notes I could get, they was getting there, but that C was a beast of a hole. Anyway, so that's that done. And now you're thinking, well, it's not an harmonica, is it? No, it's not. It's the guitar. My new journey is the guitar. There's several reasons why I want to learn the guitar, and I will be starting my new diaries with the guitar. Several reasons. One is that I need a new challenge. I've done the harmonica. I'm not going to put the harmonica down per se. I'm going to play it, but it's no longer a challenge, and I need to be feeding off of that challenge. I can't no longer with the harmonica. I'm enjoying playing the harmonica, but I need something else now, and the guitar is that instrument. This is a beast of an instrument. There's so much more to the guitar than there is the harmonica. I want to learn the guitar because one is it's a new instrument. Two is it's a difficult instrument to learn. 3 is my grandson is 2.5 at the moment as recording this. He'll be 3 in January of 2020. And I want to be able to learn the guitar because I want to be able to teach my grandson the guitar. Another reason why I want to learn the guitar is because it just sounds fantastic. Not in the sense of all of that electrical sound and that hard strumming sound. I'm not into that. I'm not into the electric sound as yet, even though this has got electrics on it. This is known as an electric acoustic. It's got electrics on it, but that's just for me to practice with, to have a go at. It's not the mainstay of my guitar playing, if you like. It's just there as an option for one, you know, maybe in a year's time or an 18-month time when I need to change my practice sessions, and I can plug it in and get a bit of a different sound. It's not a true electric sound, of course, because it's an acoustic guitar. So essentially, when I plug it in, this will be an acoustic sound amplified. It's not the true electric sound in that sense. But I want to learn finger picking and not strumming. The difference between finger picking, the finger picking style and the strumming style is that strumming style is, for example, you put your hands on your chords, whatever they might be, that's nothing, just as an example. And strumming is you've got your patterns, you know, where you're basically doing that. You've got a pick. I've got some picks, but I'm not going to use them, or plectrums. And you do your patterns, for example, down, 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 up, down, down, that kind of thing. That, you know, you've seen that. That kind of playing is not what I'm interested in. I'm interested in finger picking. And finger picking is where this hand does this kind of thing on where the sound hole is. So I'm still been playing chords on this side, not completely chords all the time. My fingers are going to be moving around, although there are some some phrases that I will need a certain chord. But generally, and the song that I'm going to learn is, it starts off with a chord, semi-chord, and then my fingers move around in different places that are not specifically in the shape of a chord. But this hand is, I've got the finger run. I don't know if that's the technical term, it's the term that I'm going to use. So this hand does this, and this hand does this, and this is finger style. Finger style apparently is very, very difficult, and as I've been told, I need to learn strumming patterns first and then move on to finger style. I don't care for that. I'm going to go straight to finger style. Why? Well, because I want to. And my first song is Hallelujah, finger style Hallelujah. So that's what so my next video will be, or my first video for the guitar will be in September, which is 2 months from now, really. I'm going to give myself 8 weeks to learn fingerstyle. So essentially I'm an absolute beginner guitar player. The song that I'm going to learn is an advanced beginner's song. So it's like a double challenge, if you like, because I'm an absolute beginner. I should really be learning absolute beginner songs and not advanced beginner songs. It's not impossible, it can be done, so I'll never go at it, and it also gives me important information and important data about the guitar and how it works. So that's why I want to learn it. That's why I guess I'm throwing myself in the deep end, because I want to learn more about the guitar. And in the metaphor of the deep end, if you're thrown in the deep end, you're essentially going to sink or you're going to swim. And that's what I need, that kind of extreme environment, if you like, for me to learn and adapt quicker than me just continuing with the water metaphor, rather than just dangling my feet in a paddling pool. That wouldn't do anything for me as far as learning to swim goes. I'm best off just being thrown into the deep end. So this is essentially what I'm doing with this absolute beginners, or the advanced beginners song. So that's what I'm going to attempt. And the other thing is, if you are learning the guitar and you are just starting off, it gives you an idea. If you're watching this as an absolute beginner, once you've seen the upload, because it's going to get uploaded no matter what state it's in. I don't care whether it's fantastic or not. It's the beginning point, and that's what I need to start my guitar learning and my guitar journey. I need a beginning point. I might have to come back to strumming, because I've been told by 2 guitar teachers already that guitar strumming, as for a beginner, and chord work is very specific places to put your fingers, there and there and there. They are set ways in which you put your fingers on your left hand if you're right-handed, and you've got your very specific, tried and tested strumming patterns. That apparently is the bread and butter of all guitar players, and it's the foundation in which to build up your guitar playing abilities. I think that can be bypassed. Maybe it can't, but I think it can. We will certainly find out in 8 weeks' time whether or not I can bypass this. You need to do strumming, you need to do chords, because it's your foundation for the rest of your guitar work. I understand the premise, I understand the idea. I mean, they say because of this, up this side, your chords is difficult in itself. Without doing all of these kind of movements as well as. So if this is just kind of set to this, then you can do this, switch off from this, and move over to this, and put the emphasis on where your fingers are going in your chord patterns. And this is why they say, it's easier to start this way, and it builds that foundation. Obviously, if I'm doing different and individual finger movements while I'm finger picking, not only are my fingers doing different things anyway outside of chords, but this is also doing things as well. And as one guitar teacher said, it's equivalent to patting your head and rubbing your stomach, which I don't know whether I'm actually doing. I probably am, I don't know. Anyway, so and a friend at work says that when he tried to do finger picking, different notes as his finger picking, he said he couldn't do it because his brain just shut down. You know, it screamed, stop doing what you're doing. It's too difficult. So that's what I'm going to try. That's my guitar journey. So my harmonica's finished, and my guitar journey starts as of effectively 2 days ago. I've had this guitar 2 days. I've got 2 guitars. One I'm going to take to work, and this one I'm going to play at home. So my guitar journey starts now.
gambler needs is a suitcase and a trunk. And the only time you keep him satisfied is when he's all drunk. Oh, mother, tell your children not to do what I've done. Spend your life in sin and misery in a house of the rising sun.